Hey everybody, this is Tom again in Western North Carolina. Anyways, I'm back at it, and this video is how to make a chair. I think episode 21 now, but I'm going to put the front to the back of the chair. And the first thing I do is got my front here, I got my back right here, and I got my rungs out, and I lay my rungs out. My workbench isn't big enough to lay them right in line with where they go, but I just put them up here, the airfoil into where they go. So anyways, the first thing you got to do is look at your rungs and see which way you want to put them in. And I put this mark on them right here that's 15/16. And I've drilled these holes 1 inch. Allegedly that mark will disappear down in the hole when it's all the way in. So anyways, these rungs go in with the growth rings parallel to the floor. And if I have a curve, a bow in the rung, I put the bow down and in. That's how I do it. That's why I think it looks the best. This one's hard to tell. It's kind of got a wiggle in it, but I'm choosing it that way. And once I mark them, I lay them down there, and they're going to pick up and go right in like that. If I had enough room here, I'd have them right in line with this. But anyways, I'm sighting them. I'm not looking at them like this. I can't tell anything like that, but I'm sighting them from end to end. Goes like that. Or I don't know if that's how it goes, but that's how I'm going to put it in. Ideally, all these rungs would be perfectly straight. And you wouldn't even have to look at them, but these are not perfectly straight, and so I look at them. I always look at them. So I'm done with that thing. Now the next step is to adjust the ends of these rungs. And in this particular chair, this spot right here, this frame front, this little square thing is very susceptible to splitting right there. And so what I do, that rung that's going to go in there, instead of driving that in there at a really tight interference fit, I'm going to relieve off the bottom and top of that rung to hopefully ensure that this little frame front piece will not split. Because if that piece splits, your chair will still work fine, but it's very not attractive look, and it's impossible to fix it. So I'm relieving a little bit off of these, and it doesn't take much, but you got to take a little bit, over a pretty good sweep. So I'm picking that up from there, and I'm putting it right back down there in that same position. Now these two holes I don't think needs any extra trimming on. I'm satisfied with them. They go right in. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim this one here, this one that goes in there. I'm going to trim that off. Oh, and this one, I didn't do a very good job to begin with on it. So it needs more work. I'm going to have to remark it. And what I did, I said I didn't do a very good job on it. I didn't get that taper, or I didn't get it cleaned up right down to the tenon. I had a lot of extra debris on there. So I gotta get my little block of wood. I gotta remark that one. And I relieve that top, top and bottom, to try to make sure that that does not split. I really don't want that to split. So I'm laying it right back down there. Now another thing that I tend to do on these is that we have invested a lot of time and effort in that back. And so I do not want any failure in the back. And when I go to put the back together, all 6 of those rungs are going in at once, and there's a lot of pounding and stuff. And so what I do on these back ones, I relieve just the tiniest little bit off of the sides of these, because on the back, the tender place is from side to side, the post splitting, lengthwise. And so I just, for my little bit of insurance, that I don't get a split, between 2 of the rungs or something, where they split is right between this rung and this rung. And so I want to kind of ensure that that doesn't happen. So I take a little bit off, and this is the sides, just a little bit. And don't take it off outside where this is going to get hidden, just down in there. Something fell over here. Put that back up. And so I'm going to do that on this end too. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just relieving a little bit off of there. Just a little bit. Like that. Trying to be in the camera. That last video I made, I had the camera turned around so I could see what was going on. But it turns out that the video is actually backwards. Doesn't really matter, but I'm just doing a little bit on these. I just don't want them to split. Just a little bit. And that step there is just over time. I've done enough of these that I just feel like I want to do that. I've got plenty, they fit plenty tight enough. So anyways, now I'm going to glue these. I'm going to put my glue in, And I have, before, I turned the camera on, I made sure that these areas were all smooth and stuff, and the back is smoothed up, because it's just easier to do any kind of, if you want to do any dressing up, sanding or anything, it's a lot easier to do it now before you get it all together. So I'm putting a little bit of glue in each one of these holes. And I wet my nail off. There's my little sandpaper. I got a little glue outside of that hole there. Try not to get any glue outside the holes. But anyways, now it's time to just put it together. And this is the scariest part right here. Hoping that this doesn't split. But see, my line right there disappeared. I'm looking at my line, my mark right there and right there. That's what tells me where I'm supposed to be. And those are going in at an angle because that's how we drilled them. If you hold them straight up, they'll get to the right angle themselves. See there? See, it didn't split. Neither one of those split. And all my lines disappeared. So now I'm going to get my back, put it up here like this. And like I say, I've already made sure that these areas were cleaned up. I get my glue bottle. Put my little drop of glue in there. I'll see if I can show you my drop of glue. There it is. All right. So I'm going to take my nail and smear that glue around. Wipe my nail off, put it away. Okay, so I don't think I got any glue outside the holes that time. So I'm holding the chair right here with one hand. I can hold it like that with one hand. And anyways, I put that rung right there in place. Give it a hit. Get that one lined up. Maybe get this one lined up. I got both of those lined up. So I just started all three of those. And now I'm going on this side. I'm just going to try to get this one right there. That one's lined up. And now that one's lined up. And you can test your chair right now to see if it's sitting pretty flat. That one's pretty flat. It's kind of not conclusive because you don't know how far you've got any of them driven in. Okay, that one's in. Those two are in. Flip it back around like that. All my marks still way out on this side. I can pretty much hear and tell when they're in. And this one here, this one here, this mark is still showing on this one. But I'm going to leave it showing because if I just keep blasting that and trying to get it in, it's probably not going to go in. It's probably because of there's probably some kind of bend or something in that thing. I'm just going to scratch that off of there. So there that chair is together. It didn't split anywhere that I can see right offhand. They all look good. So anyways, that's how I put the chair front to the back of the chair. And like I said, I'm just going to disappear that mark right there and call it good. So anyways, that's another step in putting a chair together and making a chair. And there's about 1 or 2 more videos is all I need to do on the chair. Maybe there might be 2 or 3 videos on how I do the seat, but they'll be coming up pretty soon. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day. This is the same day as I made that last video. And like I say, I had the camera turned around on that one, so everything's backwards, but I hope you can deal with that. It's all right. You can figure it out. Anyways, hope you're having a good day out there. I'm having a good day here. And thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments. See you another time.